You know, it's funny. The biggest changes in the world, they often don't come from some brand new invention. Instead, it's about combining ideas that are already out there, but in a way nobody's thought of before. That's what we're going to talk about today. This idea of synthesis, through the lens of a vision for a new digital world called WebGold.
So the whole thing we're diving into today kicks off with this really powerful idea. It's basically saying that true world-changing innovation isn't about making things more complex. It's about finding a simple, powerful truth. And that really sets the stage for this huge vision, one that's not about discovering new continents, but about, rearranging the one we're already on.
And boom, here's the core idea, right at the start. The whole claim is that you can actually build a whole new kind of civilization using 6 foundational pieces that, well, they're already out there. It's really a story about seeing connections that maybe everyone else missed.
Okay, so what is this new golden civilization they're talking about? Let's get into it. This is the first part of the vision, and it's supposedly built entirely from these parts the world has overlooked.
And this really is the big question at the heart of it all. I mean, it's pretty ambitious, right? It's basically challenging the idea that we always have to invent something from scratch to make progress. Instead, it's saying the real genius is in how you put the pieces together.
So, this whole vision is credited to someone named Commander Block Nova. And the keyword here is weaving. Not building from the ground up, but weaving these 6 existing elements together to create something totally new, a civilization they call WebGold. But okay, why do we even need this? What's the problem? Before we can really get the solution, we've got to understand the problem they're trying to solve. So let's look at their critique of the internet as we know it today. So this right here is a really blunt take on how the internet has evolved. First, you had Web 2.0, the social media era. The argument is that our attention, our data, it all got scooped up and sold. We became the product. Then, with early Web 3.0, the critique is that it just turned us all into gamblers, right? Speculating on digital tokens. So 2 totally different eras, but in their view, the outcome was the same. The user gets exploited. All right, so if that's the problem, what's the fix? This brings us right to the heart of the WebGold idea, these 6 foundational pillars that are supposed to build this new civilization. And here they are, all 6 of them. You can see they're using these really powerful, almost biological metaphors, right? You've got a spine for stability, lifeblood for value, a body for the infrastructure, a mind for intelligence, armor for protection, and an atmosphere to connect it all. So let's break down what each of these actually means.
First up, we have the EGoldChain. They call this the spine. So think of this as the unchangeable backbone. It's probably a blockchain, and the source calls it a scripture of truth, a foundational layer of trust that, supposedly, no one can corrupt. Number 2 is the lifeblood. And what is it? Gold. We're talking real, physical gold. This is positioned as a direct answer to a digital world that's just full of speculation. The whole idea is to ground the entire system in something tangible, something with real-world value that you can't just print more of. Next up is the body. This is DPIN, which stands for Decentralized Physical Infrastructure Networks. And the key idea here, this is huge, is a total shift in our relationship with the network. Instead of some giant corporation owning all the servers and cell towers, the people who actually use the network own the network. You go from being the product to being an owner. That's a big deal.
All right, pillar number 4 is the mind, DAI, or Decentralized AI. And this is set up as the complete opposite of the surveillance model of Web 2.0. This AI is designed to be a protector, an honest guardian for its owners, not some tool to suck up all your data.
And this drive for independence really comes into focus with Pillar 5, a complete tech full stack. They call it the armor. We're talking a sovereign operating system, a sovereign phone, a sovereign browser, the whole shebang, all of it built to be free from what they call the domination of the old world, big tech.
And last but not least, we've got Gold Sky, the atmosphere. This is the layer that connects everything, a global communication network that operates without needing permission from any central company or government. So you've got the spine, the blood, the body, the mind, the armor, all of it existing and breathing in this atmosphere of freedom.
Okay, so those are the 6 pillars. But here's the thing. The source argues that their real power isn't what they do individually, but what happens when you combine them. This brings us to what it calls the alchemy of unity, how these parts all merge to create a totally different kind of identity for the people in it.
And this is where the claim gets really big. They're not just talking about better tech or a different kind of internet. The assertion is that when these 6 pieces are totally integrated and working together, the equation of human life itself actually changes. So
how's that supposed to work?
And this is it. This is the core promise of the whole thing. The idea is when a person is holding their gold phone, running the Gold OS, connected to this decentralized network, powered by a guardian AI, and it's all backed by real value, their whole status changes. They stop being a user, a product to be sold, or a gambler to be tricked, and they become a sovereign human.
All right, for our last section, let's shift gears a bit. We've talked about the philosophy and the mechanics. Now let's look at the acclaimed scale of this thing. How big is this vision, and where does the source say it is right now?
Yeah, the scale of this ambition is just massive. We're not talking about some niche community here. The goal is global. The source is projecting 3.2 billion people with a gold ID who will finally become true owners of the internet, not just renters.
And then, to just cap it all off, the source material ends with this incredibly bold statement. It's not pitched as something that might happen or a cool project to watch. It's presented as something that's already here, an undeniable reality.
And all of that leaves us with one final big question. What we've just walked through is a really powerful story of synthesis and transformation. So, is this a real blueprint for a new kind of digital civilization, one built on sovereignty and true ownership? Or is it just a masterful repackaging of a bunch of old ideas? That's the question this whole vision really leaves you with.